Climate change is being felt across the globe. In Kenya, rising temperatures and unpredictable weather patterns all contribute to the story of a community and a country that needs an intervention to prevent and prepare for the impact of climate change.
Climate change has caused rainfall to be irregular. In a way, it's no longer reliable.
There is no better time than now to talk about climate change. I mean, we can all see the effects of climate change.
This is a very loud speech by nature, just telling us that maybe we really need to really take care of these issues.
Issues that compel NetFund, in partnership with the African Climate Change Fund, hosted on the Africa Development Bank, to come up with a strategy to support the implementation of Kenya's national green economy through the development of low-carbon projects and resource mobilization. NetFund led a team of Interministerial Resource Mobilization Committee, a committee established by the Ministry of Environment and Forestry to support the ministry in mobilizing of resources for various environmental initiatives. Members of the committee included Ministry of Environment and Forestry, the National Environment Trust Fund, the National Environment Management Authority, Kenya Forest Service, Kenya Forest Research Institute, Kenya Water Towers Agency, Kenya Meteorology Department, and the Council of Governors. The main objectives of the project was to support the implementation of Kenya's green economy strategy, with specific objectives of building the capacity of the RMC members on accessing climate finance and resource mobilization, building the capacity of county governments to access climate finance, and lastly, to design and develop project concept notes with ultimate goal of developing bankable project proposals for mobilizing climate finance in the country.
Imagine a country and a number of stakeholders in the country, and you have a goal of attracting or accessing global funds, but you need a particular fund that helps you get ready, more like a bridge fund that prepares you, that helps you to meet the criteria and the conditions that most of these big external funds may demand. That gap that has been there for a long period of time is what the ACCF seeks to bridge, to provide limited resources to be able to build the capacity in many African countries.
I think we brought on board a consultant with an experience with the GCF who was able to take them through the training just to ensure that they have the capacity, they have the skills, they have the knowledge to write proposals and to apply for this particular funding.
This committee will support the process of development of project concept notes and proposals for resource mobilization. So the next objective then consequently was to develop concept notes and investment-ready proposals for climate action.
Grant from ACCF was about $500,000. But this has an ability to help you build the immediate capacity that you need, develop proposals that are able to attract millions of dollars. And it's so significant that the money itself is not for implementing the projects on the ground. Rather, it's considered to be catalytic. And so this is what ACCF does, to use limited resources available to be able to catalyze bigger scale of financing.
Members of the RMC were trained on a range of issues that included climate finance and resource mobilization, donor mapping, requisites and engagement, baselines and theory of change, project design and management, as well as coordination mechanism and modalities. A key project achievement was to train the 22 members of the Resource Mobilization Committee and project team on climate finance, where 42% of the trainees were women, developed a total of 10 project concept notes and 3 proposals on low carbon development and climate change actions. Project concept notes that will leverage up to 140.2 million. The project also enhanced capacity of 47 county governments to access climate finance, where 92 county government officers were trained on resource mobilization. 33% of the trainees were women. The project also supported the development of the video documentary on the project and the project completion report. From the well-established government institutions to more recent ones, the benefits from the project will go a long way in assisting these state agencies to achieve their middle and long-term goals in accessing climate change financing.
Tapping into green financing is a very rigorous and complex process. So for me, even to have the knowledge to tap into these resources, I think is the greatest takeaway for me.
And the participants are already putting the skills gained to great use.
We also had another training which was also conducted in NEMA on GCF, and we developed 3 national proposals through NEMA on GCF.
As a result of the training that we were taken through, I was among also the team that was involved in the design of the Lake Naivasha Integrated Lake Naivasha Basin project. It's a project that we conceptualized and at the ministry together with the other RMC members, and we were working then with the Worldwide Fund for Nature in Kenya, that's based in Kenya. And the idea was to see how we can address some of the key challenges the Lake Naivasha Basin is facing.
We had many meetings with the Laikipia County government officials, in particular Laikipia County Development Authority, and they gave us very viable options, and we were able to put them in our concept idea, and that's how we got review comments from GCF.
We have already projects that have been identified and proposals are done, and these proposals are being pitched to different development partners.
The fact that they are more informed, they are more equipped now in accessing, I think we have more projects now targeted at reducing the emissions.
Kilometers away from the seminar rooms and training workshops, hope reigns supreme. Hope that the drastic effects of climate change can be reversed. For communities here in Kenya's southeastern region of Makueni, the reversal of these effects can only come from the solutions born out of proposals and concepts developed as a result of these trainings. Concepts such as the one on climate-smart agriculture by one of the RMC members.
We have been able to develop 10 concept notes on various climate change issues, and of course focusing on different parts of this country. We have projects targeting Makueni counties called Makueni Climate Resilience Project. So this project tries to build capacity, or rather build resilience of local communities in Makueni regarding the issues on water and agriculture.
This project, the names alone, really it's like a lifesaver to the community. From the word go, the community, when they had climate change resilient, they jumped into it, and they've been very eager to participate in it. And yes, because when we went to the ground with a team from the National Environment Trust Fund, we identified some of the activities which can be used to adapt to this climate change.
For the last few years coming this way, we have seen the area is drying, the vegetation is drying up, and the siltation is coming in the water. Therefore, the effect is great. You cannot underestimate it. In fact, we are terrified how we are going to live if there will be no water in this area.
Went back to the county, carried out more technical feasibility studies, sought to identify the water harvesting structures. We looked at boreholes, we looked at water pans, we looked at shallow wells, We also looked at the distribution structures and systems of this water. And then we also profiled the drought-tolerant food crops available, as well as did an analysis of the capacity gaps.
We have another project that is targeting forestry sector. One is the Marmanet or rehabilitation of Marmanet forest. This is a project that is both adaptation and mitigation, in the sense that when you rehabilitate the forest, you are enhancing the carbon sinks. And on the other hand, it has a component that tries to build livelihoods of local communities, especially the ones neighboring the forest areas.
Kwa hii sekta ya KFS, na naweza sema ni asante kwa sababu kwa wakati huu beleni hatukuwa ni karibu, tulikuwa tunasema msitu umefungwa na ilikuwa imefungwa zaidi, kiwango wa kwamba mwananchi wa kawaida angeweza kujimundu ndani ya forest yao. Sasa unakuta mtu ako na njaa, lazima aende ashukue panga aende akaharibu msitu, lakini kwa sababu sasa ameruhusiwa aende akafanye activity zake kule. Activity tuko nazo mingi sana, kwa sababu tuko na users group kama 17 ambazo tuko na ya nyuki, ya ukulima, ya fishing mingi.
The 5-year project had its share of successes and challenges, from the ongoing pandemic to engagement with foreign consultants.
I think a number of those consultants that we brought on board might not have understood the issues well, because you realize that they are foreigners. Of course, they don't understand the issues in the countries in Kenya well.
We need to know who's coming. We not only need to be part and support them, but let us be part of developing what they need to do for us, so that we don't have a situation where we feel that this information has been provided, but more could have been provided had we been very clear in our terms.
It is important that the projects that support development of projects would support them up to completion and even up to the level where we take to the potential financiers.
During project design, there was underestimation of time that it takes to develop green climate fund proposals. It did not foresee a situation whereby there will be a lot of stakeholder consultations at national and community levels. It did not foresee the questions around feasibility studies in terms of time that will take, because almost all the consultants had to ask for extension, given that our times of reference provided very limited time for these activities.
As the country strives to achieve its objectives in mitigating climate change, there is a need for more training and dedication of more resources to the project stakeholders.
The only support they might need is probably, of course, they will need human resources in terms of technical inputs, and also the financial resources to develop the sources that are there.
The resources allocated may not have been sufficient for the work, because to push through a proposal or a project through GCF, I think requires a lot of homework, a lot of work, a lot of feasibility studies, and of course doing feasibility studies is not cheap.
We still need a lot of, put a lot of initiatives towards development of projects.
So if the people who are trained, the pool can be enlarged to train others, so that we can become more people who are fundraising for this initiative, it would add a lot of value to the sector, and it would also encourage more other members to become fundraisers for climate change financing.
We need to be very strong about is what is the role for the RMC? Beyond just providing information, can we be part of a process where we can be able to appraise the project and inform on the adequacy of the kind of outputs we have? Can we be part, can we have a very consultative process together with the donors, whereby we sit together and develop the terms of references?
A phase 2 of this project would really help, but also even to address the issues on capacity building, I was saying, so that beyond, because at some point it will come to an end, whether it's a phase 2 and a phase 3, it will come to an end, so that largely we build capacity for sustainability, and even especially in terms of institutions. You see, for now we were supported as RMC, the Resource Mobilization Committee, but it would be good to transfer that knowledge now from like myself to some of my other colleagues, so that then there's that sustainability going forward.
So it's been quite engaging. There are a lot of lessons to learn, but more importantly, where we go from here is to be able to see that these proposals that we've developed, and these proposals, and you can imagine and appreciate the enormous stakeholder engagement that have gone into coming up with these proposals. It's important that we get them, forward. They should not stop here. We must be able to reach out to the external climate funds. We must be able to reach out to other development partners. We must be able to bring the government to have a level of executive buy-in, and so that this project can translate, can move from ideas and concepts to implementation on the ground.
Now, a group of highly skilled individuals capable of effective resource mobilization stands out. It is this team that will ensure Kenya benefits from the available green climate financing options.